Hey guys, welcome to another Mr. R show where we talk about everyone's favorite vacation destination, Cancun.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Mr. R show. Sorry for the, delay. We've been very busy lately with Ashton's political bid and me with school and helping out with Ashton. So we've been busy, but we could not resist this story. As you saw in the tagline, Cancun Cruz. What are we talking about? So around 4 p.m. on Wednesday, the 17th, yesterday in February, Ted Cruz was spotted with his family in a Texas airport on the way to Cancun, Mexico. Multiple pictures of a man looking like Cruz was uploaded throughout the day. You will see some of them circling through our new background here, but no actual confirmation yesterday. However, today, the 18th, it was confirmed by multiple different sources, including Fox and CNN, that in fact it was Ted Cruz, and he is on a family vacation in Cancun. Update: he is now projected to come back early after being spotted with this. Now, in context, you also see pictures of Texas right now. And Texas is facing, if you are under a rock or just haven't been in the news whatsoever, is facing its worst winter storm in its history. Millions at one point were without power. It's still in the hundreds of thousands today, and it is reported that at least 30 people have died from issues related to the storm. Crazy stuff happening while Ted Cruz is wanting to go on vacation to Cancun. Ashton, what's your makeup of this?
Oh boy, Andy. So let's start off with the simple stuff, Andy. I know people are very quick to jump on politicians for, let's just say, going on vacation in general. Like, you saw a lot of stuff with people blowing up at Obama for golf trips. In general, I think that stuff is really stupid, and especially during normal events. People tend to overlook the fact that they're human beings, they need a break. I get that. Now, I think there's a certain point where Trump also got a little bit too much blowback for some of his golf trips. No, he did take way too many. If you look, he took like 240 days. That's besides the point. It's like stuff like this, it's overblown by both sides when it's normal stuff. This is not normal. You literally have a state where people are reported to be freezing to death on the sidewalk, like popsicles on the sidewalk.
Oh no.
And you represent that state. And you know what you do? You choose to go to sunny, nice Mexico. Besides the fact that you're traveling heavily during COVID, which, I mean, that's a little small thing. That's not a huge deal if you're being super safe, stuff like that. But you're talking about, you're representing people freezing to death, and you want to just take a vacation and be like, oh, no, I'm too good for those freezing people. Instead of being out there trying to help them, or at least setting somewhat of an example, or at least, staying in your mansion, your multi-million-dollar house, at least appearing like you care. And then he had the goal to blame his daughter for it. I mean, this is the same state that spent months lecturing other states, Andy, on how to hold elections. And they can't even keep the power on during a storm that the Northeast goes through all the time. I get it. It's not fair. Sometimes life isn't fair, and you can have an excuse for a day or two of this, but when it's getting into a week long without people not having power, that's a systematic failure of government. And the same politicians in Texas laughed at California, for parts of California a few months ago, not having power during wildfires. Yeah, that was bad. The California government had no excuses for that, and people dunked on it way too much, made too much of a big deal. It wasn't as bad as this was, but it's still an issue. This, Andy, I mean, come on. I mean, and people are like, but he owned up to it. He's like, I got no defense for looking like an idiot a few months later because half of my state doesn't have power. You don't get any brownie points for a terrible take or owning up to a terrible take. You would get brownie points if you were, I don't know, throwing paper towels. Sorry, that was a bad shot at Trump. It's just, to me, Andy, it's sad. It's sad that a senator like Cruz would be this tone deaf. I didn't believe it. Honestly, I was very hesitant for 2 hours to post anything about it because I was like, no, that's not, no way he would go to sunny Mexico in this type of situation. I just found it unbelievable, even for him.
Yeah, Ashton, I think like you nailed basically all of it on the head right there. Is the problem of him going to Cancun, Mexico is not him going on vacation. That's not the problem. If it was 2 weeks ago or 2 weeks from now, that's a different story. Nobody would be batting an eye. You're allowed to have a vacation every year, maybe even two, because politics are a very tough, stressful job that many Americans will never understand. But it's the context. I mean, you're going through a disaster right now, kind of like we had in South Carolina with the 1,000-year flood, where they were not prepared, and I'm not going to get into why and the failures. That's a different video if you guys want us to talk about that. But the fact of the matter is, yes, I understand for all you comment trolls that him being a senator, he can't do as much as a local government can. I get that. He really is powerless in some regards to fixing the problems right now, but that's not an excuse for leaving your state, your Texans, your fellow citizens, to go someplace warmer while people are freezing to death. Like you said, on the sidewalk, 30 Texans have died, and you decided it's a good time to go on a vacation. No, you stay there. You go out to local shelters. You help people. You spread the news. You use all the resources you can, because as a senator, I know you have resources with people, and you help people.
But you touched on it, Andy. He's not powerless. I don't get why people say that. He's a United States senator. You can't tell me he shouldn't be calling FEMA instead of on a beach, begging for money for his fellow citizens down the street freezing to death because they don't have a nice mansion and they can't afford the electric company, the one or two electric companies in Texas gouging people for prices. People are getting like $600 power bills. People are having to burn paintings and stuff like that to stay warm. I'm sorry, if you're okay with that, you're a blind partisan. If this was a Democrat, the same people would be ripping them to shreds, and rightfully so. This is just pure shamelessness. And so many politicians now just don't care because they can put out the lowest excuse, and anyone who supports them be like, well, you got an R next to your name. And yeah, that happens with some Democrats. Like Cuomo should be gone right now. He should resign after what he did with the nursing homes. Oh, look at that, guys. We actually, call balls and strikes. Is that so hard? You should look at this and be like, yeah, he shouldn't have done that. That's bad.
Did Cruz really think, and I guess this also goes with Cruz's campaign, did he really think that he could go to Cancun undetected at a time like this? Like, is he that oblivious to that? Or did he know?
I just didn't think he cared. This guy's just shamelessly political. Like, I met him in person in 2016, and that's when I decided to vote for Rubio over him, because I knew he wasn't being authentic. I at least had a feeling Rubio was being somewhat authentic when I met him. I just didn't feel that from Ted Cruz, and he's proven it with his stances last 6 years. I mean, this guy completely denounced Trump at Trump's own convention in 2016, and then spends 4 years sucking up to a guy who attacked his wife.
knowing that he just didn't care, like knew that people were gonna find out because this is the age of technology and it's not as simple as just, I'm gonna go pop on a plane. Nobody noticed one of the most, I would say, famous current senators in the US. But does this show that he just doesn't really care about Texans like the way Texans think he does? If he's just okay with leaving them at a time like this?
You think a close call with his last race would sharpen him, make him want to be better, show that he cares more? Because he could have lost that race to Beto. Beto got closer to winning that state than Biden did. That should tell you something about, like, I really think he has a good chance of losing because Texas is getting harder every cycle, not easier.
It also
And
shows you, Ashton, when the loser in that campaign, Beto, is doing more in one day than Cruz has done the entirety of this disaster in Texas. So that's the sad part. And people can say Beto's playing politics. I'd be like, probably is. But do I care? Because he's at least trying to go help people. Like if it's motivated through politics, it doesn't matter. Good still comes from it. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't say, oh, he's just doing it for political brownie points. Yeah, but he can get brownie points and help people. They can go hand in hand. Politics should be about helping people.
oh yeah, and I'm sure the same people don't play politics at all with the fact that Cruz isn't even there. Just he can't get anything because he's literally not there. He's not helping. And
you touched on this for a second. This is the last thing we'll talk about is with these pictures confirming and now him coming back, basically saying, "Oops, let's get home quick." So it looks like I didn't go over there. Will this affect his reelection bid coming up in, I believe, what is it, 2 years now? 3? It's either 2 or 3.
No, he ran in 2018, so he's up.
Man, COVID, man, it's changed my timetable.
I don't know. It depends who runs against him. If it's Beto again, I think Beto has a chance. Again, I think Beto would have won that race had he came out as more pro-gun. That's my personal opinion.
I've seen Beto, some rumors, some underground currents saying he's going to try to go for governor.
Well, after this, Greg Abbott might be very weak because, like, Andy, can we talk about the fact that the governor of Texas came out and tried to blame AOC on his government's lack of response to people freezing to death in his own state? Because apparently the Green New Deal secretly got passed by Abbott, and he's trying to say this is what will happen if it takes effect. I'm like, when did it take effect in Texas?
Especially since you're the only state that's not regulated by any federal energy policies, which is the reason why you're in this mess to begin with, because there's windmills in Alaska that work. There's windmills in Iowa during frozen storms that work. Northeast, same story. It's not the fact that windmills and solar powers don't work in the winter. It's because you don't follow the federal policies that are in place to ensure they work.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like Texas Republicans are very lucky that their local elections were in 2020. Because I guarantee you, if they would have 2 years may be a little bit long and people may forget about this, but had this been like this November, I think they would have got massacred. Like they would have lost both chambers and the governorship.
I mean, Texas is like, the demographics are switching. I mean, and then it might
it isn't even demographics anymore. This is when it comes to bad government responses for a state, this tops it. It goes up there with Louisiana's response to Katrina. And I think that's what caused the state to elect a Democrat, and that Democrat's been in ever since.
Yeah, guys, but if anyone watching this, any of our viewers are from Texas, our prayers go out to you. I know it's none of you guys' fault that government failure on all counts, and it's causing you guys to have terrible living conditions for at least a week.
And no one should dunk on Texans because it's not Texans' fault. You can dunk on their government for being very, very inept, but don't dunk on Texans. I've seen people call Texans stupid and all that. It's like you have to realize there's a lot of Texans, and a lot of them are really good people trying to get by, and it isn't their fault. Their government
Yep.
is just been inept. You can't
If
blame
you're,
the people.
yep. If you're in Texas, please stay safe as best you can. Please try to stay warm. I've seen some terrible stories, terrible videos, terrible pictures coming out from there. I've seen people's fish tanks being completely frozen solid, icicles from apartments, ceiling fans. It's bad. So please stay safe. Anybody else that's not in Texas, if you can send help, is it through money, time, sharing of content on social media, of awareness, just everything we can. We should, southern states aren't used to frozen winter storms, and especially not Texas. So it's different for, I know you guys in the Northeast are like, it's just snow, but for the South, that's crazy. It's like you guys getting a tornado or something in Boston, right? So it's that kind of craziness. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.